Cairon. At last. Oh, the best part is about to begin. I don't want to be late. I know. We both had to wait far too long for this. You are strong. Your gift is powerful. If the circumstances were different, you could have been the last one standing. But your path ends here. Any last words before we begin? A little greeting for Calandra, perhaps? When I see her again, I could always shove a little souvenir into her mouth. Your fingers, for example. Your tongue. Where has she taken her? Answer me, and I'll give you an hour's head start. I'm so sorry. I don't answer the defeated. Men, take him! You useless klutz! a little... Men! Brother, listen to me. Tell me where Calandra is. You will find one another. Your gifts will guide you. Ghamat awaits you. He cannot be the last. Do you hear me? Brother, be the strongest of the awakened. Prove the worth of our sacrifice. An answer, Falk. I need an answer. My gift. It cries out to you. The beginning of the eternal struggle. Falk, where should I go? Ghamat awaits you. He cannot be the last. Not Ghamat.
Falk betrayed us. The documents you produced prove that. And the same applies to those who fought at his side. They followed the wrong path. They had to be punished.
It was an honor, Metropolitan.
Falk hoped that his lax morals would bring him enough popularity amongst the people to allow him to divide the Lioness's servants and lay hands on my office. You prevented that from coming to pass. I'll see that you're rewarded. Warunk should know that the Metropolitan provides for those who serve Rondra justly.
Thank you, Your Reverence.
The Church of Rondra shares in the loss of your sister, Cairon, and yet I must ask you for your help. We now know that Falk served the unholy Azaril Crimsonweed, but the writings he left behind point the way to a man he called his brother.
Ghamat. Falk spoke of him.
That's right. The mysterious man who once led the sick from Warunk. They moved up to Clawmoor. Now we have to fear for their souls.
So I'm supposed to follow the sick and save their souls. I just got out of the refugee camp. I'm lucky not to have caught the plague myself.
I cannot spare a single man until I've assured myself of their loyalty. I will conduct investigations and determine consequences. And since you have to face this on your own, I will now give you Rondra's blessing. For, as your soul is pure and gods-fearing, the power of the Lioness will protect you, Cairon.
Too kind, Your Reverence, yet this is perhaps too much of an honor.
Credit where credit is due. You will receive Rondra's blessing.
Cairon.
What happened?
Consecrated ground. The Metropolitan's blessing. Rondra's presence does you harm. The goddess of war has rejected you.
I'm not a Pactera, Father. I never sold my soul.
I know. But your gift is demonic in origin. You use their power. That makes you an enemy of the 12 gods.
And yet I'm still alive.
I brought you out of the temple. The Rondrians were suspicious, but I guess they wanted to believe my lies.
What's the story on this Ghamat? Falk's letters didn't say much about him.
People say he was a muddle-headed preacher who led the sick from the city a few moons ago with promises of salvation. Falk's letters suggest that the plague victims' exodus ended in the Clawmoor in a village called Farnfield. He and Ghamat seem to have known one another.
The Clawmoor. Wasn't there supposed to have been a huge Alhanian ritual site there at one time?
The Alhani originally founded Warunk and ruled pretty much this whole area. So you should definitely find some Alhanian ruins there. If they really did have a ritual site in the Clawmoor, it must have been very powerful. You still hear truly wondrous things about their mages today.
The Clawmoor. Wasn't there supposed...
The Alhan... If...
Why did so many of the sick follow him?
Ghamat seems to have had some kind of healing artifact. He promised to heal all those who followed him.
And the authorities allowed this heresy because they were happy that the source of the plague was removing itself.
Possibly. Rika from the refugee camp may know something about the Clawmoor. Apparently, her lover went with Ghamat.
We know that Falk wanted to become popular in Warunk by supporting the more tolerant Rondrians. But would that really have been enough to overthrow the Metropolitan?
The necromancer in the brothel, the marriage in the old Rondra temple, the great understanding for the Warunkians' actions during the occupation, those were all symbols for the people.
Falk was supposed to prepare the ground for Azaril's religion. Freedom through pain, power through will, every human a mage. It's the kind of thing that appeals to people who have to justify themselves all the time.
The summonings were supposed to escalate the whole thing. Falk would have presented the people the culprit, and Metropolitan Yakon would have been accused of abandoning the city in its time of need.
Everything would have come down to a duel with the Metropolitan. With his gift and Azaril's magical support, Falk would have won and taken Yakon's place. What happened while I was unconscious?
With Falk's death, there is no longer a plague bailiff to ensure order in the refugee camp. I can't see Margrave Sumadan trusting another Rondrian with it. They're concerned with themselves at the moment. Yakon is checking his men thoroughly. Looks like there will be some duels of atonement soon.
What happened to Magus Theodore? Is he free again? After all, he helped save the city.
I saw him walking around freely. But only briefly, and then he was arrested by the guards. Seems he talked too loud again.
Of course. What else?
The Margrave was here. He didn't want to wake you, though.
Calandra and I have been able to do magic ever since our blood mixed. My power grew when I killed Falk. It was as if something had passed from him to me.
Azaril once said the 7 gifts would seek one another out when their bearers awoke. It's demonic power that works according to Borberadian rules. Blood magic. You work magic with the essence of those you hurt.
But our souls, and those of the other awakened.
I don't know, Cairon. But your blackout in the Rondra temple could be bad news.
That my soul is damned.
Maybe not. You can only enter pacts with demons of your own free will. As long as you do not do so, there is still hope. Maybe even for those whose gift has been transferred to you. But the more you give yourself to your gift, the more power the demon may have over you, and perhaps Azaril as well.
Calandra isn't my sister. That much I understand. But tell me again why you took us on as children. And why we had to flee for all those years.
Azaril, High Prophetess of the Church of Borberad, gave 7 children demonic powers at their birth. You and Calandra were 2 of the 7 awakened. I was serving Azaril at the time, and I couldn't watch her sacrifice your mothers and your souls to the demon. I interrupted the ritual. I kidnapped you both, and hoped that the demonic gifts would wither. But that didn't happen. Your gifts awaken when your blood mixed.
It's almost funny. Rondra's power drops me in my tracks, and at the same time, the head Rondrian gives me an assignment.
You're the only one Yakon can trust now. He's taking the opportunity to learn something about the sick and Falk's allies. Maybe he saw you fighting and became suspicious. Your gift isn't all that unobtrusive. And as long as he can't be sure of his own people, your power represents a risk.
Well, he's lucky that this Ghamat is my only trace to Calandra. Otherwise, I could get some stupid ideas.
Good luck in the Clawmoor, Cairon. Let me know if I can help, and get in touch when you're back.
Those assholes in the guard slaughtered everyone who wanted to get the food from the armory and spread it around.
Those assholes in the guard want to spread...
Here, Warunkians! The Metropolitan has decreed that from this day forth, whomsoever makes unfair speeches shall be punished with 12 strokes of the cane. If they do so publicly, they will receive 3 times 12 strokes of the whip.
Greetings, Cairon.
However,
nice to see you again.
those found to be
Greetings,
obstinate
Rita.
and
You mentioned your beloved
incorrigible
Rio.
will lose their tongues.
Could be. Why'd you ask? Have you seen him?
No, but I'll be leaving for Clawmoor soon to find Ghamat. I'm hoping you can tell me more about the swamp, Ghamat, and the Exodus.
I'll tell you everything I know. Just ask.
Whether we eat dirt down here or die in our own shit.
Can you tell me more about
Metropolitan
Clawmoor?
announced
Unfortunately,
the
I
city
don't know
walls
all
have
that
been
much about it.
completely
It's a very
rebuilt
grim
through
place at
joint
any rate.
efforts
The
after
moor
the
itself is
divine
muddy and
lioness,
disgusting.
in her infinite
Beautiful plants
mercy,
are sure to be
had
few and
seen
far
fit
between.
to make them
Are
collapse
there any dangerous
under the
creatures there?
thunder
I've heard that it's
of
full of
trumpets
giant
of
spiders.
Periku.
There are even supposed to be drowned corpses and ghouls there, so I'd be careful.
This sacrifice served to protect your freedom.
What can you tell me
from
about Warunk
evil
before the liberation?
necromancers
By
and
the Dark
sinister
Mother, a lot has
pacteers.
happened since Metropolitan
Now that we
Yarkon
are
and his
protected
Rondrians
from
kicked the
harm from
necromancers
outside,
out. The
let
undead
us
dragon
work
Razazar ruled
together
here for
to
many
eliminate
years and
the
rebuilt the
last
whole upper
eyesore
town.
from the upper
He
town,
is said to have had a
where
splinter from
remnants
Borberad's
of the
demon
unholy
crown.
pyramid
He
are
paved the roads
still
with
to be
skulls and
found.
built a huge golden pyramid on
Volunteers,
Moloch Mountain.
report to the
People
east
say
gate
that the
at
dragon
the
was killed in a
6th
battle
hour.
in the west when he attacked the imperial city of Gareth. Apparently, he killed half of the Warunkians in order to raise their corpses as undead soldiers for the attack. And that was only a fraction of his army.
Gareth. They say the city was almost
The
completely
Metropolitan has
destroyed in the
decreed,
war.
whosoever
Better than
pacts
years of
or
occupation like you had
communicates
here.
with demons shall
Over
burn.
a dozen years.
Whoever
Then
wears
came the
their
thunderstorm,
symbols
the
or
chariot of the
speaks their
goddess of war
language
Wanderer.
will lose
Her
their
lightning
sight.
bolt must have lit up the
Whoever
whole
protects
sky.
their servants
Then Moloch
or
Mountain
their
exploded,
words
and
or
debris
conceals
rained down
such
all over
from
the city.
Deons
Everyone
shall be
thought the
hanged
day
by
of
the neck
liberation had come.
until
But
dead.
the Rondrians took their own
dead,
sweet time about
dead.
it. Long enough for the
Blessed
Council
be
of
Rondra,
Necromancers to settle in,
divine
and also
lioness.
for the Soul Collector.
The Soul Collector, a mighty servant of the archdemon Thargunitoth. It is said that he rips your soul out if you get too close.
Yes. Oh well, I found the nightmares worse, because they got even worse while he was in power.
Is it true that he still has the Thargunitoth splitter from the demon crown?
No idea, but there's simply no stopping demons, and the Soul Collector is powerful.
Here
What
were
exactly
Rondrians.
distinguishes a
In
metropolitan from a
Rondra's
normal?
name, praise
The
the
Metropolitan
city
is the
guard.
leader of the Rondrians
He
here,
was
a very
merciful
powerful
to
man,
those
people
who
say.
wanted to take from
Yarkon
the
of
armory
Ulev is a veteran
food
fighter,
intended
a
for
real
all.
hero, but
For to
pretty
err
strict. Falk
is
is
to
his
be
deputy,
human,
but he serves
and
the goddess of
their
war,
courage does
Wanderer,
them credit.
like all the other
Yet
Rondrians.
forgiveness,
And like the other
Warunkians,
Rondrians, he should fight
forgiveness
honourably and protect the
is
people from
truly
evil.
divine.
If you want to know more, you should ask a Rondrian.
I think I have a rough idea now. What can you tell me about Warunk before the liberation?
By the Dark Mother, a lot has happened since Metropolitan Yarkon and his Rondrians kicked the necromancers out. The undead dragon Razazar ruled here for many years and rebuilt the whole upper town. He is said to have had a splinter from Borberad's demon crown. He paved the roads with skulls and built a huge golden pyramid on Moloch Mountain.
Afraid of out,
People
maybe.
say that the dragon was killed in a battle in the west when he attacked the imperial city of Gareth. Apparently, he killed half of the Warunkians in order to raise their corpses as undead soldiers for the attack. And that was only a fraction of his army.
Praise
Gareth,
the divine
They say the
lioness.
city was almost completely
Another blow
destroyed
has
in the war.
been struck against
Better
the
than
darkness.
years of occupation like you had
Even
here.
for the fallen women.
Over a dozen
Yea, there
years.
is hope.
Then came the
Even
thunderstorm,
those who once
the
sold
chariot
their
of the
bodies
goddess of
and
war
had to
Wanderer.
compete with the
Her
unnatural
lightning bolt must have
attractions
lit
of
up the
rotting
whole
flesh.
sky.
The divine
Then Moloch
lioness
Mountain
welcomes
exploded,
them.
and debris rained
This
down all
is
over the
an
city.
omen for your own
Everyone thought the
return
day
to
of
the path
liberation
what
had
is
come.
right
In the
and
middle
good.
But the
Landings,
Rondrians
Know
took their own
that
sweet
it
time
is
about
never
it.
too late.
Long enough for the Council of Necromancers to settle in, and also for the Soul Collector.
I think I have a rough idea now. What was this exodus you mentioned?
Have you seen the yellow symbols on the houses? They mean danger, plague. No one knows what kind of plague it is, but it's been raging for months now. When it got really bad, and even our benevolent Margrave Sumadan wanted to throw the sick out of the city, this preacher showed up. He called himself Ghamat. He had a talisman which couldn't heal people, but could at least ease their suffering a bit.
And he led the sick out of the city? Why did they follow him? Only death awaits them out there, at best.
That's what I said too, and stayed here. But he told the people that redemption awaited them in Clawmoor. Salvation from Mishkara's caprice, he called it. And my poor Rio went with him. Maybe I should have stopped him. But Rio was so beautiful, with all his faith and all his passion. I just had to let him go.
Then I'll be on my way.
Would you do me a favour?
When I see your Rio, I'll tell him
Whoever
that you are
kills
waiting
a
for
dozen
him.
undead rats and
Thank you.
delivers them to the temple
See you soon.
shall receive an entire bowl of good soup. Be
I'm glad
noted,
to be in here.
a good
I
character
hear people in the
witness for
West
the
Town are
deeds
rotting
must be
alive.
named, whom the Dion
I think that's Cairon.
Cairon thought long and deep about the events on his way to the Clawmoor. What did the powerful sorceress Azaril want from his sister of all people? What had Falk meant when he had spoken of the dark side of the magical gift and the awakened as he lay dying? Cairon could only find the answer in the mysterious preacher who had once led the sick and ailing from Warunk and was said to reside in a village called Fernfield. A man named Ghamat.
You sure showed them. Thanks.
Rio of Warunk?
How do you know my name?
Rika mentioned you.
Oh, no. Does she still think of me?
She said you were her lover. And she seems to miss you very much.
Listen, she completely misunderstood. I am not her lover.
You followed the Exodus because you have the plague, right?
Honestly? No. I only acted like I was one of them. I wanted to be with my Latika.
I see. And who is Latika?
The most beautiful woman in the world. She is one of the chosen, you know?
What do you mean, chosen? And what are you doing here, anyway?
Latika was chosen to enter paradise. And I'm going to follow her soon. That's why I milk the spiders here.
You milk spiders?
We make jewelry from the spider silk. For the holy man's great ceremony, this eases the transition to paradise.
Who's Latika?
Well, Latika's the reason why I'm here. I love everything about her. She followed the holy man into the swamp, and I joined them. I left everything for her, including Rika, another girl in Warunk. And now, as one of the chosen, Latika has gone to paradise, and every day I pray that I might follow her.
What's this about a holy man?
His name is Ghamat. He works great wonders.
A holy man? Really?
He's a savior. He eases the suffering of the chosen. And when they are finally ready, he leads them to paradise.
What kind of paradise?
Paradise is a place of eternal bliss. Ghamat has already been there, so he can judge who is ripe for transition.
Couldn't this holy man find anyone braver than you for the milking?
I volunteered. I wanted to impress him and Ulev. Ulev is my beloved Latika's father.
Not the best idea.
You know, it's not easy when you're not among the chosen. I have to convince Ulev somehow.
And that's why you need the spider silk?
Yes, but to be honest, I think I could use a little help.
What's in it for me?
Well, maybe I can help you somehow. In the swamp, I mean.
I'm looking for two women who traveled to Fernfield.
In an elegant carriage. They were there. Ulev would know more.
Guess I'll go see Ulev then.
You give me some spider webs, and I'll give you the password to get past the guard then. Take the rope bridge to the caverns in the northeast. Reuben used to say that the best spider webs can be found there. But that was before the beast ate him.
See you later.
Fantastic! You got the spider's webs. Soon I'll be together with my Latika.
I really have to get going. Like I said, I'm looking for someone.
No problem. When you get to Fernfield, just repeat the password. The test is ours. The grace is mine.
Thanks, Rio.
When you get to Fernfield, talk to Ulev, the village headman. I'm sure he'll help you.
See you later.
Halt, stranger!
The test is ours, the grace is mine.
How do you know our password? Talk!
What's going on here? Who is this stranger?
I'm a friend of Rio's. He said you'd be able to help me.
Then welcome, stranger. What can we do for you?
2 women were here, and I need to know where they went.
I understand. You want the community to help you. And community is a valuable thing to have in a treacherous swamp, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
And in a community, everyone does something for the greater good.
So what do you want me to do?
Make yourself useful to the community. The next time the holy man visits the Life Spring, he will reward you.
What is the life spring?
The life spring? I'm sure you saw the pillar in the sky.
Hard not to, but what happens there?
The chosen enter paradise. Whenever that happens, there is a great ceremony in which the holy man leads them there.
How is one chosen?
The road is full of pain. It all starts with red bumps and pustules that steadily turn darker, becoming the deepest black. A raging fever follows, and, in some cases, a wheezing cough.
Sounds like the plague in Warunk. In the end, you become weak and die.
The weakness is a sign that the mind wants to leave the body. This is a very important time. Those who have borne the burden thus far can now join the chosen. The Warunkians die because no one revealed that to them, and because they have no life spring. But Ghamat knows the right time, and names the chosen. He shows them the way to the life spring, and thus they go directly to paradise.
And you really believe that?
We do not force anyone. But, believe me, it is more reasonable than it might seem.
This Ghamat, did he really cure you all of the plague?
We are blessed. The scars mark the bodies of the chosen. Ghamat, the holy man, has revealed this to us. The ignorant call it an epidemic, but we know that the burden of the chosen will be rewarded with paradise.
And what's your role in all this, Ulev?
I help. I lead the community,
so happy to be
while Ghamat
chosen.
watches over our souls.
And why did the community end up here, of all places?
This is a good place. Even the mighty Elhanians settled down here.
You mean the Elhani? The ancient people with the powerful sorceresses able to move entire islands by their will alone.
I am so happy to
Traveling
be
salesman
chosen.
once told me about it.
Yes, an old people who knew much about many arts. They ruled a great empire, and are said to even have had peace treaties with the goblin hordes.
Until the Rondrians subjugated them and drove them off.
As may be. To this day, the swamp still spits up old shards and debris they once left behind, but nothing of importance.
I've heard that you have a daughter named Latika.
Yes, Latika is my daughter. She is doing well.
So what do you want me to do for the community?
There is an important ceremony coming up at the Life Spring. We urgently need more wood for the masks.
You want me to prove myself by chopping wood?
There's almost nothing but demonic wood
I
in
am
the
so
swamp.
happy to be
You will
chosen.
understand that the Holy Man does not want to endanger the souls in their transition to paradise. We have already lost half of the village. The ruins are completely soaked with the swamp's evil influence. In the west, on the other side of the palisade, we dare not go there. There are too many undead. The drowned corpses are exceptionally dangerous. But there are still some carts stuck in the mud that we use to move from Warunk. Their wood is new enough to use.
Then I'll just be getting on with it.
If you come back with unspoiled wood, we will all look for traces of your two women. I will see to that myself.
Why don't you just take demonic wood? Can't be that bad.
Firstly, because Holy Ghamat says so. And secondly, because I can tell you stories that would make your blood run cold.
So, let's go.
It all started when we arrived here with our carts. An orphan girl was with us. Her one arm was scarred, and with the other, she clung to her wooden lion. Someone had whittled her that lion out of swamp wood. Now we know that that wood was demonically contaminated. The wooden lion began to run and jump. The girl was happy. She laughed for the first time since she was scarred. We thought it was a good omen for our trip.
But
that night, we heard screams. We ran over to the girl's camp. She was trying to shake the lion from her body. It had become hungry for meat. It took 3 men to pull the wooden beast off the girl. Then the girl's forearm tore off, and the lion escaped into the darkness with its spoils.
Do you have any more stories about this wood?
Oh yes, many. Listen. Stopped under a weeping willow, the mules refused to go on. Vorkar was a coachman, a good man with the whip. He spoke to them, petted them, but they would not
so
move.
happy to be
Finally, he whipped them. The animals simply would not go on. Vorkar whipped and whipped. The mule's hide split open, and the whip tore bloody wounds. Later, Vorkar cut himself on his knife as he cleaned the mule's hooves. It was just a small cut.
Is that it?
The next morning, he could not find his whip. So he drove the mules with a willow switch. But again they stopped. He started to yell at them. But then he began to gasp for air. The willow was strangling him. He tried to remove it from around his throat, but he could not get a grip on it. It had crept under his skin. It had tasted blood.
Truly scary.
Yes. I find these stories too scary myself, to be honest.
Have you...
If Ulev trusts you, I trust you too. Come and take a look at my extensive range. There's a herb for every misfortune. And I have weapons too.
I want to finally go to paradise.
The holy man has the power to heal.
Genla is and always will be a Deont.
Do you hear that? The swamp. It's alive.
Have you seen the walking corpses?
Genla is and always will be.
The guy looks like he's out to cause trouble. The guy looks like he's out to cause trouble.
Are you a researcher? A medicus, perhaps? Are you a researcher? A medicus, perhaps?
I wait to be chosen.
One day you too will be chosen, and then everything will be fine.
One day.
Genla is and always will be a demon.
The holy man has the power.
If Ulev trusts you, I trust you too.
You want to do something for Fernfield? Very good. We've use for any help we can get. Good luck. Meet me if you survive.
I want to finally go to paradise.
Parain be with you, stranger.
My name is Cairon. What do you want from me?
I'm Genla. I was Parain's Deont here.
And?
You spoke with Ulev. He wants you to get the wood for him, right? You cannot believe a word he and his so-called holy man say. They are blasphemers and murderers.
Is it true that the Alhanians once settled here?
A magical race. They worshipped snakes and insects. We have built on their ruins. Here, read if you can. Their descendants, the Norbaden, still worship the bee goddess Mokosha and Hesinda, the goddess of wisdom. Perhaps it is even the traces of this ancient faith which have protected Fernfield so long. On the other hand, there are legends about them banishing a demon known as the Clawmoor into the swamp. Maybe the other monsters are still being scared away by him.
Blasphemers and murderers. Harsh words for a village headman and a holy man.
Ulev and Ghamat brought the plague here, thanks to their so-called exodus. They are responsible for the deaths of half Fernfield.
You are a priestess of Parain. Couldn't you heal them?
I tried. Many times. But the disease is insidious. It must be demonic in origin. The patients were desperate. Ghamat incited them against me. And then they stormed my goddess's shrine.
I thought Ghamat relieves their suffering.
Black magic and illusion. The bewildered see in Ghamat exactly who they want to see. In reality, he exploits the sufferings of the sick while letting them celebrate him as a saint. And those who could soon find peace in Parain's arms, he throws into that mudhole which devours their souls.
Who did Ghamat and Ulev kill?
Every Fernfielder who dies of the plague is their work.
Why do you exaggerate? Be honest.
Their first victim was Makra, my husband.
All this just doesn't fit. How come they tolerate you here? And why do you stay here?
Only faith can overcome the suffering. Even though many go wrong, I will not let them down. There are also more upright people here than you think. Ulev does not want to endanger peace in the village, so he leaves us alone.
Enough already. The village existed before the Exodus, right?
Fernfield was isolated. So much that Borberad's hordes overlooked us. The swamp mutated, but Parain's shrine protected us. The gorge beyond our village shows what might have happened. There's no longer a way to visit the great Alhanian ruins. Demonic claws are everywhere. Even the undead did not venture here. We couldn't leave, but over the years we were relatively safe. But Ghamat and Ulev destroyed all that.
I'm looking for two women who allegedly were here. Do you know anything about them?
Possibly. If you want to hear more, help me. The divine Parain will thank you.
I haven't seen many Parain Deonts.
Parain is the goddess of growth and prosperity. The benevolent one makes the seeds sprout, the wounds heal, and the children grow.
Stalks and ears of corn, those are her signs, right? In Warunk, those ears mark the houses of plague sufferers.
Her virtues are diligence and compassion.
I'm just wondering where her power is here in the swamp, between the toxic bog gases and the deadly vines.
You're making a fool of yourself. As if you didn't know as well as I just how little power the 12 gods have in the Shadowlands. That is why we have to pray even more passionately. Through our faith, her influence increases. Through your faith, too.
What do you want from me? You don't want wood too, do you?
It is perhaps the last wood in the entire Clawmoor not saturated with a demonic force. I beg you in the name of the goddess Parain, bring it to me. This wood is my only chance to lead the Fernfielders back onto the right path.
What exactly do you want to do with the wood?
I shall use it to fulfill the goddess's will. The same goddess who can save your soul. Is that enough?
Ulev talked about saving souls too. It seems more people believed him.
He has forfeited his own salvation, and now he wants to drag the Fernfielders into the abyss with him. That mudhole where Ghamat throws the sick damns them forever. Yes, Cairon. He likes to talk of saving souls, but elsewhere in the Shadowlands, people cut out the tongues of hypocrites like him and make them eat them. And then watch them as they choke on their own blood.
And what shall I tell Ulev if I don't have any wood for him?
Ulev can use demonic wood. It won't make any difference.
I'll think about it. After all, I have to find the wood first.
If it makes your decision easier, I can give you a more worldly reward in addition to Parain's blessing.
Ulev trusts you, I trust you.
Genla is and always will be a deal.
You want to do something? All done? You do impress me. Here, the reward.
Have you
Do you have any more questions?
Do you still need wood?
Did you find some?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. You have no idea how many souls you have saved here. I want to use this wood to rebuild the shrine to Parain. Without your help, every service held there would have been poisoned. Here, take this as a token of thanks. But not a word to Ulev about it.
What actually happens at the Life Spring?
First, Ghamat comes and inspects the sick.
Ulev said Ghamat relieves the suffering.
He is a liar. Ghamat seeks out those amongst the sick who will soon die. He then declares them chosen and tosses them with a great fanfare into the mudhole.
And why do the Fernfielders believe in Ghamat?
He has a talisman which takes away the pain. But he doesn't relieve their suffering, not him.
I'm looking for 2 women, an elf and a girl. Have you seen them?
They were here. They were looking for something in the swamp. The elf played the girl's almighty teacher, prattled on the whole time about freedom and some paladin soon to appear. Ulev kept them away from me, but if you help me, I can try to find out more.
You probably don't believe in the Life Spring's miraculous powers, do you?
The pit used to be a kind of graveyard. I buried many Fernfielders there before Borberad's invasion made everything mutate. The grave pit was filled with demonic light, and all the trees in the gorge by the Alhanian ruins turned into tentacles. No one dares go there anymore.
Did Ghamat get his talisman from the Alhanian ruins?
Perhaps. Trust him to use that old magic for his own ends. But he must have found a way through to the ruins to get it. Maybe he found the talisman in the pit. He's the only one to ever have returned from it.
How many Fernfielders still actually believe in Parain?
Ghamat forbids them to worship the gods. That's why he had Parain's shrine destroyed. Ulev watches over the ban. But he will see. It never pays to be a lackey to evil.
It's hard to keep the faith when you see the power of demons all around you. Throughout the Shadowlands, people think the gods do not care about them. The plague, a mighty savior who can ease the pain. Ghamat had it easy.
People must not give up. If their faith is strong enough, their souls will be saved. No one ever promised that it would be easy.
How can I help you?
I want to make a soup out of wolf lizard eggs.
Wolf lizard eggs? Are you sure?
The soup will not taste very good.
That's not what I meant. Don't you have to be really careful with those eggs because they're poisonous?
In the swamp, almost everything is poisonous. It takes a lot of experience to be able to know just how poisonous. The green lizards here in the Clawmoor even have poisonous breath. I wouldn't dare mess with them. They also have hard armor.
What's the point?
I'm going to use them to poison the sick. But before I do, I will bless them in Parain's name. Their souls will be saved, and not sent to the nether hells by Ghamat's terrible ritual.
You want to kill the sick by poisoning them like a coward. You're one of Parain's Daons. You have dedicated yourself to life.
And death is also part of life. The poisonous eggs are the only way to save their souls before Ghamat sacrifices them to the swamp. Do not worry. I kill only those who firmly believe in the goddess Parain. All the others are beyond help anyway. The nests are in the north, between the cliffs. Just go past the construction. The lizards are jumpy, so they will attack very easily. 3 nests should be enough for a kettle of soup. Any further questions?
Why are the wolf lizards jumpy?
Those lizards are not normal reptiles, but rather chimera, mutated by demonic influence. This makes them part reptile, part demon. They smell the undead flesh, and it attracts them. Yet their instincts warn them to avoid the demonic influence. This confuses their senses. The swamp drives them mad, if you will. No wonder that they often fight side by side with zombies.
The lizards don't eat the undead?
No. They do eat carrion, but no undead.
I would arrive just in time, I'd say. Praise parade. Gimlet is and always will be a deal.
The guy looks like he's out to cause trouble.
I don't trust that stranger. What does he want here anyway? Genla is and always will be a deal.
You want to do something? All done. You do it. Good luck.
I want to finally go to paradise.
Ah, my favorite customer. Welcome.